Welcome to the Wrestling House Show Super Show. My name is Chris.
And my name is Joey.
And Joey, I am super excited. I am welcome. Thank you for coming with me on this journey to Japan today.
I'm an equally excited, willing, and intimidated participant.
I did not kidnap you and take you into Japan unwillingly. You actually offered to do this as a super show.
I did.
Before we get into the show, I do need to mention that you can find all of our super shows on cnjradio.com, where you can also find the matches of the week. And we did mention this on one of our recent matches of the week. I'm not sure when this is going out, so it may have been a little bit before. But this, to me, is an all-timer. Maybe not the best pay-per-view ever, which I don't think it is, but for an entry point into what we're talking about, which is Marigold Dreamstar Pro Wrestling, I think this is a fantastic pay-per-view to introduce somebody to the promotion. And Joey, I have just introduced it to you.
You have, and not for nothing. The reason I wanted to do this was out of pure intrigue, because you've done such a great job at representing Marigold on our matches of the week consistently the last few weeks. You're in on the subscription service. Your excitement about it and the way you talked about it, I got the fever, and I wanted to see this show, and I'm glad I did.
Yes, I am.
More on that later.
Converting people one at a time.
Yes.
But yeah, it's working, and I hope this show helps. I hope that the people out there listening, maybe if you've never watched a Joshi Pro Wrestling event, like a full Joshi Wrestling, you have seen a lot of them in the United States over the past few years. They have brought them over and have actually pushed them even in the WWE, which used to not be such a thing. They had the run, in the 90s with All Japan Women's?
It was brief, but they were there at least. I mean, the fact that they even made it onto a Survivor Series team was something at least.
But ever since then, it's been up until the last few years that they've actually taken some of these women seriously. Of course, AEW as well. So if you've ever been interested in it, I would suggest going to check out Marigold Grand Destiny 2025, which is a pay-per-view event. It is available. I don't think it will still be available, unfortunately, on Wrestle Universe as of the listing of this, because it looks like it's a limited time thing. You can only purchase it and watch it within a limited time, which I think is a mistake.
Don't U.S. streamers do this too, for the movie sites, or movie and television sites? It's limited and then they take it off for a while. It's got a small window. I don't like this.
Some of the movies, even digital rentals and things. They'll come up and then but I mean the whole thing will go away and then go to the HBO Maxes or the Paramounts or whatever.
It's just. And sorry, not to put you on the spot, Chris, but do you know what the future lies for these types of pay-per-views? Do they start selling physical copies, or do they wait a little bit while and then put it back on?
I don't have an answer to your question, but I will look into it, because Marigold's been around for about a year and a half, I think. It started in 2024. And if the pay-per-views from the first year are on the Wrestle Universe site, then that's a good sign. Maybe they just maybe there's a blackout period and then they put them back on.
Sure.
New Japan most of those aren't actually pay-per-views. I don't know anymore.
A lot of super cards and stuff like that. But
they do have pay-per-views still. I'll have to look at that too. I don't even know if New Japan World puts their actual pay-per-views on the site for free after a while. I don't know. So
we have questions. But I will say, for this show, and we'll talk about it throughout, but a year and a half into this promotion, and you can't tell that they're newbies. The show was run so well. It looked very professional. It was in a cool looking room. All those things that check off those boxes as far as perception, production value, the way it feels and comes off. Even just the type of money that their talent is putting into their gear. It all looks great. And they got the in-ring stuff to match it. So, and for anybody in the States, especially if you were a big Shimmer fan, and maybe you've been hearing at least about Stardom for the last few years, like I said, feds that have kind of come in and filled in those blanks. Yeah. If you can cross over to Japan, then this is going to fulfill a lot of that void. Yeah. The unfortunate closing, or whatever it is, in mothballs of Shimmer and places like that, then this is where you want to be. Trust me on this. For someone this is my first full show of this.
Yeah.
This kind of is a spoiler for the ending of the show, but we do have matches to talk about as well, obviously.
This event, you mentioned the nice room that it's in. It took place in the Ryogoku Kokugikan, which is the Tokyo Sumo Hall. So I watch this venue multiple times a year because that's where the big sumo tournaments happen not every 2 months, but when they're in Tokyo, This is where they take place.
No, that's awesome.
And it occurred on October 26th, 2025. And just a little history for me, I started watching Stardom when I was in Japan in 2017, and that's going to be very important for the main event of the night.
Oh yeah, let's tease that.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit.
Let's just say, for those of you who don't know, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Chris, for those of you who don't know, there's a really big deal on this show that's in the main event that's someone you definitely know who you may not think will be showing up at an event that's not in their current employer's umbrella.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to it.
I understood that sentence. Yes.
I tried. That was one take.
It was good.
You saw my eyes just like, what's the next word? Okay.
And just, if this is your first time encountering Marigold, we just mentioned Stardom, and there is a very strong comparison that you can make to Stardom. And, in fact, it started not as an offshoot of Stardom, but it was started by the man Rasi Ogawa, who founded Stardom, and he left Marigold, and he left Stardom and created Marigold, and took some of the top talent with him. So I don't know how on the level it was or not, but it worked out for me as a fan. Sure.
In the history of pro wrestling, it's usually not on the level, except for maybe the ROH Shimmer tie-in. That was definitely a brother-sister thing. That's probably as pure as it gets in pro wrestling.
Right.
So who knows?
But I do understand that Rasi Ogawa was also involved in women's pro wrestling way back in the All Japan women's days as well, which I think that's the hallmark. That's the stamp of approval. If you were involved in that era, then you know what, there's something there.
Okay.
And to me, a bunch of the stars that did come over from Stardom to Marigold were some of my favorites. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because it was Julia, it was Mayu, it was Utami, it was Mirai, it was Mai Sakurai, which are a lot of the ones that I really liked. There's still some that I like over in Stardom as well, but to me, if I had to pay for one service over the other, I'd probably watch Marigold. And it's shows like this that make me believe that I did make the right decision.
Yeah, it seems like that to me. So
do you want to get into the matches?
Absolutely. How many matches are there, Chris?
There are 9 matches on Marigold Grand Destiny 2025. And we start them. It was a pretty long show, but it didn't feel like it, did it?
It didn't. And the runtime, you let me know in advance what the runtime was. And I probably shouldn't be told that in advance. Because that is a bit of a mental thing to get over. It's a hurdle for sure. Because the show is 4.5 hours roughly.
Yeah, it's like when you tell me we're watching the WrestleMania tournament 4. Yeah,
that 4 is.
I fall asleep immediately. So I don't even. I gotta go to bed.
So they got hair back. I got groggy just hearing you say that sentence.
But to me, I've watched this show twice now. I watched it on my own, and then I watched it again just now with Joey. I loved it both times. I saw different things this time, here and there. But we've done enough preamble. Let's get to the first match of the night, which is a rookie match. So this is 2 of the youngest competitors in Marigold right now. One of them is just 16 years old, and her name is Shinno. And she is facing the other rookie. I don't know how old she is. Probably around the same age.
That's the joke I can make that I won't make for the rest of the night. But they all look like they're 14.
Okay. And Shinno is facing Kizuna Tanaka. And the interesting part, not just because they're both rookies, but they are both second-generation wrestlers. And it was their mothers that were wrestlers. I think one of them, their father was a wrestler as well.
Sure.
But their mothers accompany them to the ring. So
that's something else. I mean, we're in this era now. I never thought I'd see that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Shinno's mother is Michiko Omukai, and she was a wrestler in All Japan Women's in the 1990s and into the 2000s.
I was like, is it possible that women's show from 1990 or 91 that we're planning on doing a super show to fill it in the gap? Is it possible that she was on that show maybe?
Maybe.
We need to bookmark that.
Yeah, I have to... Because I did not know her name before going into the show because I keep saying I want to get into the All Japan Women's stuff, but...
The history of it, and it's a rich history. And it's like, I am that... I feel like I am a decently, middle, next level kind of fan, but at the same time, from that era, if they're not a Jumping Bomb Angel, or if they're not Aja Kong... or Bull Nakano, then I'm going to be a little crude on it probably. So
I really got to get into that, but I have a year of Marigold to catch up on too, or a year and a half.
You might as well start doing it now because they're only going to keep putting out content.
It seems more doable than even catching up on some of this other stuff.
And hey, not for nothing. Sorry about the context here, but this is like kind of the equivalent, maybe not the exact same amount of timeline.
Yeah.
But think about Vince McMahon taking over WWF from his dad.
Yeah. And
like a couple of years after that, he's already getting WrestleMania going. So I think this is a great comparison to make. This is their kicking off. Like this is their WrestleMania to be like, hey world.
Yeah.
It's their first pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken, yes? Or is it not?
So, no.
Okay. But they really, it felt like it was.
Right.
Like they made a big deal out of it, and big things are happening on this show. Okay. Yeah. So getting back to this did remind me of the NXT women's match, the title match, where Charlotte Flair had her dad come out with her.
Oh, yeah.
And Natalya had Bret Hart represent her. Yeah. I immediately thought of that. So it's a great moment.
Kizuna Tanaka, her mother, is Yumi Fukawa. So I need to mention that. She also competed in All Japan Women's in the 90s. So those two women, the two mothers, probably definitely were in a match together, I would say.
You walk up to them at the pre-show and be like, oh, you're here with your sister. That's so nice that you're here. Okay, that's your in right there, Chris. Okay. Because they look like it. Not for nothing. Older sister.
So what did you think about this match? It was the opening match, two rookies. What'd you think?
Yeah. Here's the thing. When I see those Young Lion matches in New Japan, they have the limited moves and everything. And I didn't get that vibe off of this match. No. Yeah. Like, it feels like they limit them less. Because they were definitely going for stuff. I was like, huh. And one of them did Kota Ibushi's, like, one of his finishers. What's the name of that move, Chris?
The Kamigoye.
Yeah, you see that in this match, and I'm like, that's not anything that they usually let rookies do. I feel like, it's a different kind of feel here. And if you would have told me that they've been wrestling for like 3 to 5 years apiece, I'd have believed you.
Right.
I do not believe that these women are rookies.
Yeah.
They've probably had a leg up with their moms.
Oh, sure.
Like showing them stuff over the years. So that's probably another thing. But I was kind of shocked that they were rookies.
Yeah, and to your point, like the Young Lions thing, where when you watch a match, their movesets are limited, so the moves that they can use, they really have to put them over. And everything feels like a match ender for them because they're just they're just going and going and going like nonstop.
And the similarities are there's a lot of going for the pin, going for the pin. And that's to be expected. That's everywhere.
And that's what I liked about it. Because they don't have the seasoning to maybe play the crowd as much, but they make up for that with drive and heart and hitting really, really hard, right from the start. Yeah.
That's been kind of an ongoing theme, with the matches of the week and just anything we talk about in anybody. But it tends to get brought up a lot with the women because historically, supposedly women don't hit hard. But for something being in the water over there, apparently, and or just the way they train, your shit better look good and it better look like it hurts. Yeah. And the smallest 75-pound woman can throw a forearm shiver like a Tyson knockout.
Right.
That sounds like I'm exaggerating. Yeah. But even in this match, with these quote-unquote rookies, they're laying their shit in, and I'm like, damn, man.
And totally. And like you said, pretty broad moveset. I mean, the Kamigoye. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's not
that's
a
ridiculous.
hard move to do.
No.
But it's something that you don't necessarily... If you just watch New Japan and you see how they come up through the system, it's very different.
Yeah.
And I think it works for them, though, because it just does.
Yeah, and I guess as far as, like, getting the crowds in there, they might need a little extra leg up.
Yeah, and I swear I'll stop talking about Stardom, but I think this is important. Stardom has a similar system where they start them young, and Azumi is one that I think people may know because she's come to America a little bit, I think. She started at like 12, I think, something like that.
It's almost like industry standard now.
Yeah, because when I started watching, I think she was like 14 or 15 or something.
Gotcha.
But she did have a more broad moveset, and now she's older and she's an established star like all over the world. So whatever they're doing in that system works, and they brought that over to Marigold. Yeah. Marigold hasn't been around long enough to have a rookie that has come through the system to race to that level, but they have a good batch already, and apparently there's like going to be a like Rookie of the Year tournament coming up in December. Okay. So
I like that.
I think I know who's going to win. And she's not in this match, but these two women were very good. I thought it was a really fun opener.
Yeah, no complaints. And good time to say, we're not going to spoil that match, but good time to say from here on out, spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you're even remotely interested in seeing the show, go watch it now.
Yeah.
And we'll meet back up with you later. You'll be happy you did. Trust me.
Yeah, some of these we kind of do have to spoil to talk about the most interesting part of them.
Or else it's not good radio.
Yeah.
It's what you don't pay us for.
Yeah. So great opener. And it was followed immediately by a tag team gauntlet match.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know that anything was on the line. They didn't mention any like title shots in the future or whatever.
I mean, even if it was, the commentators would miss that. They're too busy putting themselves over.
Yeah, with cliche. They were already into like their 10th or 12th cliche by this point.
One of those guys at this point in the show has already said Dazed to Confused like 5 or 6 times. Yeah. You were right, Chris. They need to put us in there. Good God.
So there were 6 teams in this match, and the way the gauntlet works is 2 teams. When one team is eliminated, a new team comes in. And you can eliminate a team by pinfall, submission, or over the top rope. If you knock the legal person out over the rope and they touch the floor, then it is an elimination.
I didn't realize that until it actually could have happened.
Yeah. And spoiler, it didn't actually happen throughout the entire match. So we got pinfalls or submissions throughout all of these. But this was made up mostly of kind of, I would say, lower or mid-card wrestlers in the promotion. I've only been watching Marigold for a month, so I don't 100% know the pecking order yet. Yeah. But you can tell from show to show who's in the main event tag matches and who's kind of lower on the card.
Okay.
First team up was Nagisa Tachibana and Minami Yuki versus the team of Hummingbird and Nao Ishikawa.
That was really one of the only things I brought to the table at the show was being like, I believe Rey Mysterio Jr., who is, I guess, the current Rey Mysterio, used to go by a version of a hummingbird when he was a young boy, basically, in Mexico. Yeah. And because he hadn't earned his family name yet. And so that leads to, wonder if she's a fan and she's that deep in it.
Yeah, maybe.
So I have questions, but I feel like that's probably the case. I mean, you don't wear a mask and celebrate Lucha Libre in Japan unless you are a fan of Lucha Libre from actual Mexico. Is that
at this point? I don't know. Probably. Yeah. Well, Lucha Libre in general, probably. Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also dealing currently right now in my head, like you're talking like current right now, me talking.
Yeah.
And the fact that none of these girls were probably alive whenever Lucha Libre actually kind of brought itself to Japan for the first time. So
for sure not.
There's no way, because that was legitimately like, 30 plus years ago now.
I think, there's one woman on here that I think was a baby when that happened.
Yes,
I think maybe, or she was just about to be born.
Their moms are telling them these stories to make them go to sleep.
and I don't know the ages of everybody involved in this, but I did look up one specifically, not her age, but her background in wrestling.
And that'll be interesting.
And that's a little bit later, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was just... I don't really have a ton to say about this match. It was just a fun tag team gauntlet match.
Yeah, a scramble with no quick finishes to just kind of move time forward. Like they definitely were just like, the show's going to go as long as it's going to go.
Yeah.
So this was probably, I'd say, roughly 20-ish minutes to get through all the teams. So I like me a good scramble. We don't see it enough.
Yeah.
Like there's certain match types that are kind of overplayed out here, but I like me a gauntlet. I like me scrambles. Like, I want to see them a bit more.
Yeah.
And, like, you could go a whole year and not see one.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Right. So, you just got to watch more Marigold, I guess.
Apparently. Like, I don't want to see an Inferno match. I want to see a scramble, God damn it. Maybe I'm old in that way.
I've never wanted to see an Inferno match.
Who did, really? Like, yeah. Darby could sell me on an Inferno match.
Anyway. He probably light his whole body on fire.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, moving on.
So, this first matchup, I was actually surprised that Minami Yuki got the pinfall on Naoya Ishikawa, because just watching the shows, Ishikawa feels like she's like in the middle on the verge of rising, and Hummingbird is just cool to watch. She's fun, and so I kind of figured they would go beyond the first matchup, but they didn't.
Yeah,
the next
not many people really survived to do the two in a row, if at all. Right?
Nobody did. Yeah, okay. Every new team won, so it makes logical sense.
It's completely logical. Yeah. You never see it, but it's logical.
Yeah,
they're already innovating, Chris.
Yeah. Next team in was Yuka Yamazaki and Komomu Minami. Minami, I like. You're
actually gonna have to re-explain some of these to me, like in visual.
Minami was the one in like the pink frilly kind of skirt in the second team in. Okay. She was teaming with the woman with like a lot of purple.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Yes. So Minami, she's also at kind of, like I said, all kind of the same level, but she has the style that she has is pretty hard hitting and like lots of strikes and suplexes and things like that. So. Okay. She did get the pinfall victory over Minami Yuki. And then the next team in was Chinyota, who I haven't actually seen a lot. This was the only match I've seen in the month that I've been watching with Chinyota.
Okay.
And Arina Yamanaka. This was very much a powerhouse and like flexibility and agile and personality, really. Yeah. Arina has a very large personality.
Yes. And she did stand out. Yes.
She reminds me of a wrestler from Stardom, but also other places. Sumire Natsu. They seem to have a very similar vibe to them. Kind of glamorous, but also kind of mean at the same time. Yeah. It was surprising to me, though, that for Chinyota and Yamanaka's time in the ring, it was Yamanaka who took most of the ring time. Chinyota's like, she looks like a bodybuilder and the powerhouse, but it was Yamanaka who was doing everything for the most part. She got that double Muda lock at one point.
That was a great move.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of hard work to get to that move, but hey, like I said, applause, because I've never seen it before, and you know me, I'm a sucker for a move I've never seen or a new variant of that move.
Yeah.
Definitely saw that in this match. But also, to your point, Chris, you made me think of something. And there's like a handful of wrestlers out there that people say, oh, they look great. Mm-hmm. How come they can't get to that next level? It's like some of those bodybuilder types, I'm not trying to put them all down because they're not all like this. Everybody's different. But there could be some people that really look that part and they only have like 5 minutes of match time.
Yeah.
Like they might gas out soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a thought. Like that could be the case. Like you saying that and me now kind of processing that, remembering that part of the match, I was like, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But Chinyota and Yamanaka did move on, and they faced the one faction that I know of in Marigold is called Darkness Revolution. And we'll see them twice tonight. This was the first time, and it was the team of Rei Sato and Nagisa Nozaki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, that stands out right there. And I even asked you, like, this has to be a faction. So you're like, I think it's the only one. I go, just one faction in a promotion is definitely an anomaly in this day and age. And it doesn't matter what you watch.
Yeah.
It's factions galore. So Yeah, if they only have one, that could actually be pretty intriguing.
I could be wrong about that, but I've looked at the website and I didn't see anything with like the stable pages or anything, and they're the only ones that have T-shirts for the Darkness Revolution T-shirts. Everyone else is just like themselves. So
yeah, and there'll be some reps for this faction later on in the show too, right?
Yeah. So. And this was definitely the team of Sato and Nozaki is very much a veteran, and I think Rei Sato is a rookie as well. So wow. I think there's probably like shocking. 15 years difference. I don't know how much. I don't know how long Nozaki has been wrestling, but there's a huge experience gap between them.
Huh.
But, I mean, they're both good. I've seen Rei Sato in more matches in Marigold so far than Nozaki, and she's usually lower on the card, but she's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final team in to face the Darkness Revolution, they did move on to face the team of Shoko, Koshino, and Gigaton. So
Gigaton, yes.
So the best part of this was when I realized that Koshino was wearing dolphin gear, and then they said it on the commentary that she was trained by Super Delphin. And I just mentioned on, I think, one of the recent matches of the week that I wish people would do the Super Delphin pin. The one where they cross their arms over and pull the legs up and sit on top.
Which we learned for the very first time in, what was it, WCW versus the World, the 64 game? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like, what is that?
Sadly, she did not do the pin.
She didn't.
But she did sing a song, an entire song on the way to the ring.
Yeah, she's definitely a rock star for sure.
And then Gigaton with the makeup and the mask and the hood and pulling open the bat wings of her cloak and having all the masks, and they were saying that those are the souls of the wrestlers that she's vanquished. So
is that the deal on that?
I think that's the deal. Yeah.
I love that, actually. Yeah. I was saying I saw the side of a house that looked like that this week.
Right.
We are recording this during Halloween week, by the way. So yeah. That entrance took 100. I was sitting there going, this is either great psychology or it's massive filler.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
And because it did take forever, because they both had their own individual entrances that both took forever.
Yeah.
And you could see the Darkness Revolution in the corner just hanging out, and Nozaki was having none of it. She didn't want any of it.
Yeah, I almost felt like a legit not having it with her, but who knows? Maybe she's just playing it up.
Yeah, when they both attacked her, when they finally got into the ring, she nose-holed the first one.
Yeah, she got double teamed by him, and she was like, okay.
And then she started,
Yeah, it was weird.
But, and then Sato had this just look of disgust and fear on her face when Gigaton especially was coming out. But, as I was saying to you, this is actually better for Darkness Revolution, because they had 5 minutes to recover from the previous match.
Or it could lead to their downfall.
Or they could have gotten cold.
Exactly. That is a thing.
So the team of Gigaton and Shoko Koshino did win the match, which, it's fine. It's fun. I was hoping that one of the actual teams that I know of to be wrestling at every show had won.
Yeah, this seemed like you were even talking about the tag league.
Yeah.
It's like the two that were kind of really put together for just this reason.
You're right. Yeah.
It felt like that.
Yeah. So, but it was still a fun match.
Yeah.
I mean, a tag team gauntlet's always fun, I think.
Once again, a tag team gauntlet. Yes.
The next match, though. So there are 2 matches on this show where only one competitor was announced. 2 singles matches.
In a row, right?
Yeah, and they're both these next 2 matches, and they both face mystery opponents. And this first one was Megaton, who is... How do I describe Megaton?
Well, she's Gigaton's tag partner, yes? Or they're in the same faction?
I don't know. I've never seen them together. They have to be, though.
They have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they look different enough. Don't get me wrong. But they both have the ton at the end of their names.
And they have the hair thing. The sticky outy hair at the top.
And they're both different types of comedy wrestlers.
Yeah. So I assume that they are. I'm just saying that in the month that I've watched...
Gotcha. You just don't want to go on record. I understand.
Throughout October, I have not seen them team up.
As a broadcast journalist, you don't want to,
But the commentators did say that Gigaton was just returning. So that's probably why.
Okay.
So we'll see.
and her mystery opponent.
So
I'm going to let you have it, Chris, but I'm just going to preface this.
Yes.
You could have 1,000 guesses, and you'd run out of women's wrestlers probably because being put under pressure, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
You could have 1,000 guesses and not guess who her mystery opponent is. Even if we gave you hints,
yes,
you would not be able to get this. There's a major difference in the opponent versus anybody else who could possibly be in the back.
Yes.
It's a big difference, Chris.
Right.
So take it away.
So the way they promoted this was Megaton versus
Godzilla.
Big Star M. So that was how it's written out in Japanese. But the M is significant because that, going into it, that is part of their name. It's the first part of their name.
So you're deducing it could be either the first letter of their first name or possibly the last name.
Correct, yeah.
And how many M's are there in Japan, Chris? Let's just go. Okay.
I'm sure a lot, yes.
Okay, yes.
I mean, Megaton is an M. So,
hey, why not? She's fighting herself. Yes. This is the twist.
And the graphic actually was just a blacked out copy of Megaton's profile. If you notice, like it had the hair spike in the front.
They didn't even do Creator Wrestler.
So they didn't even do.
It was really big.
Yeah. So Megaton comes out, happy, makeup. She's doing like a King Tut gimmick or something. I think something like that.
If you say so, I couldn't figure it out, but
she's short. She's happy. She smiles. She's a comedy wrestler.
Yes.
I look to Joey because I know what's coming up because I've seen this match already. And
I appreciate the respect you gave me in thinking that I would, in 2 notes, recognize the theme song, which I didn't.
Well,
and I've seen less of this person, but I'm very aware of this person.
Yes. So it is a wrestler with very famous music. If you've watched a decent amount of Japanese wrestling, and also they've been in AEW as well with the same music. And it's one of those where when it reaches the chorus, everybody sings along with it.
Yes. I was a little out of practice,
yes.
Let's just say.
It's been a while because this person used to be in a New Japan Pro Wrestling, but is not anymore. So as the music starts, and the actual, because it starts with a like really kind of soft intro, and then it kicks in.
There's a build, yes.
And then I look over to Joey, and you're like, At this point, when I was watching it the first time, I was like, this can't be happening.
And I'll tell you what I was thinking once you reveal it.
Because as the music starts of Kaze ni Nare, out steps Minoru Suzuki.
Minoru fucking Suzuki. The Iron Man of the last time WrestleMania was in Dallas. Wrestled at every show.
Yeah.
One of the scariest motherfuckers in the world. Yeah. Who's a man, by the way, just in case. Yes. There's a lot of Suzuki women out there, but none with the name Minoru Suzuki.
Yes.
Yeah, the dude with all the weird hair that's kind of bald but also has hair. That scary fucker.
Yeah.
That you don't want to do chop for chop with.
Right.
What did they just hate Megaton? Like we've got this company, but we got to wash out somebody.
Right. I don't know the reasoning of it other than the oh my god moment. Like,
sure.
Is this actually happening?
I mean, hey, we're definitely not going to get into a whole thing about intergender one-on-ones, but this is just unfair. It's sadistic. Like, I guess the only thing that really saves it is the fact that Suzuki doesn't have to work a ton in this match.
Yes.
Sorry. It just came out that way.
I saw you pausing as you knew it was coming.
But yeah, it's not a massacre. So if you're going to watch the show, this isn't just like Minoru Suzuki is going to murder a child. Or a young adult.
Yeah.
She's just like, what do you got, kid? It's one of those, I guess.
Yeah, Minoru definitely played along and played it up, and this isn't his first intergender match, and I know that because I've seen him.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm aware of him too. Yeah. He's probably done more of these than even we realize. Yeah. So he understands the assignment. Yeah, and he went through with it, and man, what an easy payday he had too. I liked the match more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And that's what any good quality comedy wrestling match should do. As a fan of the comedy wrestling, more so than Chris, I'll go on record saying I think I'm right about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And Chris appreciates it because it's all art. But I was like, okay. No, the fact that I was able to laugh a little bit, that quells any of the, my God, why are you doing this?
Yeah, because it's not a violent match.
No.
It's a fun and funny match, and that's what it's intended to be, and that's what it is.
Yeah. And this is one where we really, really have to spoil the finish because it's tremendous.
Yeah, so of course...
Never seen this before.
Suzuki is in control for the first part. The first time he touches Megaton, the entire crowd boos. And he is like so angry at that.
How dare you boo me? I am a legend. Yeah. I am a shopkeeper.
Yeah.
By the way, he has a shop if you're ever in Tokyo.
In Harajuku, yeah.
It's a wrestling shop, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's a clothing store, I think.
Oh, okay.
Wrestling related.
I was going to say, there's a lot of wrestling in it, though, so you definitely want to make a point.
Yeah. So the match goes along, and Megaton keeps trying to do her thing. She does the chops.
She's crying the whole time, Chris.
The first time she gets him is she bops him on the back of the head, like jumps up, because she's shorter than Minoru. Like, that's how short she is.
That's another thing.
And, I mean, she does get kicked in the gut once, and she gets, like, slammed here and there, but it's...
I will say, one of my favorite moments in the match is actually the bell rings.
Yeah.
And she tries to make herself look big.
Yeah.
Like she's encountering a bear.
Right.
She actually did that.
That's her Megaton thing. That's her Megaton pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it served her well,
worked,
I suppose.
I mean, it didn't do anything to Minoru.
Not really.
But it eventually gets to a point to where Megaton does get a little offense.
Yes.
She does the thing where she points to the crowd and gets Minoru to look to the side and then does like a shoulder tackle.
Going back to the video game thing, this is just when you can just own the person you're playing, and I'll play along and let him get a little bit of offense. That's all this was.
That's what it was, yeah. Because when Megaton she does her finisher is the Megaton splash. And she does the pose, the finger claw pose.
Yeah.
And then she just big splash.
Yeah, lion face.
Yeah, exactly.
And she says Megaton, and it's fun.
Yeah. So she did that, and it didn't get the pin. So she did it again from the second rope, and she hit it.
It was good too. Yeah.
And she didn't get the pin.
She got a 1, I think.
Yeah.
That was a 1 count.
But Suzuki is still on the mat, so she goes back to the corner and she does the moonsault.
She's gonna pull the super crazy.
The finger circles.
Yes.
To signify that she's going to do a moonsault or some sort of twirling move.
Sure.
And she does it, and she keeps doing it for like 30 seconds, and then she climbs up to the bottom ropes and she keeps doing it. Mm-hmm. And by that point, Suzuki is up and he like taps her on the back. It's like, get down.
So it's the he's behind me spot, isn't he?
Yeah.
She even sees him, chooses not to acknowledge that he is behind her, looks at the crowd again, basically asks, he's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah.
They say yes. She's like, no, he's not.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And then it just the reality becomes inevitable.
And so
after about a minute.
Yeah, she does eventually have to get back in, and Suzuki puts her in the rear naked choke, which is
the booze.
Yeah, I've never seen him finish a match with that, even though it's a perfectly good finisher. Yeah. I've never seen him finish it, and like in New Japan, like the commentators would actually talk about it. Yeah. It's like he always gives it up so that he can do the Gotch style pile driver. Okay. He always goes right into it, and so he picks her up and he gets the arm through the legs, and
then the bell rings.
And Megaton is screaming, I quit, I quit, I quit. So she gives up before he can hit the Gotch style pile driver while she's upside down in position for it.
Never seen that before, and I love it, and I'm surprised this is the first time I've seen it, to be quite honest. And anything I've ever seen, any wrestling, all the indie shows I've been to, never have I ever. And I mean, it just amped up how much I actually loved it in that sense.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I think, didn't the referee break the hold? Like, he made him not...
He made him break it.
Yeah. Great job by the referee, too. So, yeah. So, yeah, happy ending. She doesn't take the pile driver. Right. She lives to fight another day.
She lost, but she kind of won because she didn't die.
But what a check mark off of your career. Yeah. Like, you did that. You conquered 2 things in one match.
Yeah.
You fought a legend, You did an intergender match.
Right, and she didn't die.
And she didn't die.
So yeah, that was more fun than I thought it would be.
Yes. Not even remotely a great scientific match, but entertaining and memorable.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Next up was, and this is where the show really started to get serious. Mm-hmm. Like, the first match was serious.
Sure, yeah.
But
there's no real stakes up until this point.
Right. And this is more of just like a prove yourself kind of match. So this is another mystery opponent. The wrestler that we know going into it is Chika Goto, or Go Chika, as people call her. That's the chant, Go Chika.
Oh, okay.
And I've gotten to really like her in the month that I've been watching. She's bigger than most of the other, maybe all of the other women in Marigold at the moment. I know Bozilla was in Marigold she has wrestled in it. Bozilla is probably bigger than Chika Goto.
Have they fought each other?
I don't know.
I need to know.
So I'm going to be combing through the archives.
Yes. And if you know Bozilla, you know her from Forbidden Door.
Yeah. So Chika Goto comes out. She has new gear. And so Chika is facing big superstar S. Chika's in the ring. You can see the seriousness on her face. She's usually very smiley. And even coming to the ring, she did her chant, which was like very happy. But when she heard the music, I think her along with the rest of us were like, oh, she's in for a fight. Because I think you even recognize this music because you've heard it a few times this past month. This was Sareee as the opponent for Chika Goto.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the music, but it obviously I've heard it. It's just one of those things. Like, it takes me a while.
Sure.
Even as a music guy, it takes me a while for some reason. Yeah. Unless it's like Man with a Plan, then it's day one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And you brought out this great statistic of just you personally as a fan. Like this is, I don't know. Could you ever say this about almost anybody ever? Unless you went to Mania Week.
Right.
Then you could probably say this. But this is something, if you're just watching television, this is kind of unprecedented. So, Chris.
Yes. So, in the month of October, I saw Sareee wrestle 5 matches in 4 different promotions.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
Is she technically a free agent still, or
I think
has she?
Is, yeah.
Okay, well then that helps.
I think,
but that's still like impressive.
Yeah,
like you've unwittingly followed her,
right?
Like around the globe this month. Once again, I know you're a fan, but like you're not stalking her or anything. You didn't even know she was advertised in advance for this show because she wasn't.
And also the Marvelous show either, because they don't announce those cards beforehand.
Oh wow! Okay.
Every match is a surprise.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah. And you probably didn't even know she was booked for that AEW show when it happened.
The tag match, no.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
So yeah. A surprise stalking, I guess.
Low-key stalking. Harmless stalker. I know someone that used to be called that. Anyway.
But yes, so already when we both saw her come out, we're like, oh, yeah, this is going to be good. Because Sareee is a fighter and Chika Goto is big. And even if you haven't seen a match of hers, you can see the size difference. Mm-hmm. And you're interested to see where it goes. Because Sareee, worldwide pedigree, Chika Goto, larger wrestler, so you know that there's gonna be there's an evenness there, I think.
And just on a low level of entertainment value, my favorite name currently in pro wrestling,
Chika Goto.
It's just so fun to say.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like even the announcers didn't take advantage of how fun that is.
Yeah.
And I will say, she came out. I meant to say this when you were basically introing everybody, but I got like the most massive, like, this feels like a Lita entrance. Like, the way she was dancing around was the same way. She has the red hair, so that also helps.
Yeah.
And just that whole thing, I was like, I feel like she's definitely a fan. Like, I'd be surprised if she was in an interview saying Lita doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah. It just gave me that right when she walked out. I was like, oh, this is cool. And anytime I could think about, like, when I first saw her, like, that's a cool thing.
Miss Congeniality.
Okay, second time I saw her. I have a blind spot for Miss Congeniality. I don't know why. Yeah. Maybe I do know why, but anyway. But yes, her WWE, like what S.A. Rios, Lita.
Gotcha,
like wedging into the Team Extreme.
The Lita gimmick. So,
The Lita gimmick. There you go.
And so as Sareee is coming to the ring, to me, I could see that shift. I haven't seen Chika Goto wrestle like this in the month that I like I said, only a month. But I haven't seen her wrestle like this because she was super serious. And you could kind of tell that this was this is my moment to kind of prove myself kind of thing.
It's being territorial.
Yeah. And that's a lot of what it felt like. And Sareee is an interesting wrestler because I don't...
Yeah, she doesn't invite intimidation. People respect her, but she doesn't come out with that thing.
Right.
Like, where people are like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's more so like, oh, she's got skills. It's not so much she scares me, but she can turn that on.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was getting at. When she's in the ring and fighting, like when she's fighting Chika, she looks like, not that she's disrespecting her, because I don't think she is, but it seems like there's like a simmering kind of anger in some of the way that she moves and attacks. Because like the hard hits, they all do the hard hits.
Yeah.
But she's pulling, like grabbing by the hair, and just the way that she like leans into and just repeated strikes and things. It's probably more like you need to earn your place kind of thing.
Sure.
Because she has, I'm assuming, been wrestling longer than Chika. Yeah. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
And that style definitely lends itself as to why, I don't want to say classic, but she had that great standout match with Alex Windsor a few weeks ago. And I was excited enough to see the match, but I walked away like a bigger fan of both of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was like almost mad at Chris. Like, how come you haven't been leaning on Sareee so much all these years? Been keeping her for yourself.
Are you gonna buy the Go Chika shirt whenever it comes out?
I might actually, yeah. I mean, if it's got the full name on it, I need it to have the full name, because I want people to say it out loud when they walk up to me. Yeah. It's like, and you made my day. Yeah. I love hearing that.
Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Two women that I really like a lot, and one that I just learned about this month. So yeah, super good. Next up is the Twin Star title match. It is the Tag Team Championship of Marigold, which going into this night was held by the team of Magenta, who are actually, I believe, signed to the Marvelous promotion. And Magenta is the team of Maria and Riko Kawahata, who we've been talking about on the Match of the Week, mostly in her alter ego as the Great Sakuya. But she is not in the makeup tonight. She is Riko tonight.
And update. Yes. Because other websites and other wrestling journalists have said as much. Yeah. That even people that have wrestling pages have all reported that she is the shoot legit daughter of the Great Muta / Keiji Muto. Yeah. But Chris informed me as of today that is not the case.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah.
Keiji Muto does have a daughter, and it's not her. His daughter is a singer, I believe.
Okay. Which is also cool. Yeah. I was like, she needs to at least missed at some point during the show.
Yes.
And I need that. But anyway, but it's kind of one of those mentor things. Yeah. And then like passing the gimmick along. You don't have to be blood. Maybe it's, and I'm speculating here, I was like, maybe it's like one of those Hart family things where you stayed at the house at some point. But yeah, regardless, hey, not for nothing. And I saved this for the show, Chris, because I wanted to like full circle this moment. I'm not upset. As invested as I was going into this with her, I thought about it because it was the initial shock. Yeah. But then I went into, hey, I mean, Great Muta, he started out and they called him the Great Kabuki son.
Oh, really?
That shit's not true either.
Yeah.
That was started by, just a way to get him over. And Gary Hart leaned into that because Gary Hart managing him, he managed Kabuki. Yeah. So if he's taking him on, well, it must be true.
Yeah.
So at least the lineage, it doesn't disrespect any of that.
That's cool, yeah.
Because it's all carnied up. Like, it's just...
right.
And okay, let's go with it. If KG thinks enough of her to be like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's called the Great, Miyata or something like that. Like, it's a...
Yeah.
There's a twist on it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know that's where I am with it.
Awesome. Yeah. You've come to terms with her not being his actual daughter.
And the other thing I'd like to add to that is, as I'm learning this, but like they're also showing the hype video going into this because, putting over the Invaders thing and all this stuff with the champs. They showed her doing a moonsault, and I beamed inside. I was just like, that's it. And I pointed to, I did the Leo thing where I pointed to the screen. I go, that's how he does it. Yeah. And it's not just, I do a moonsault because I take this shit seriously enough to know. And I was like, let me get out my board here and talk about all the different moonsaults that have existed in pro wrestling, Chris. Yeah. She pushes off the same way that Keiji did. So, and I'm sitting there going, how did he must have been like, just watch this on television. Right. I love the guy, but like, he's not do as I do. Just watch what I do on the television. Okay. But it's the same motion. It's the same exact push off to where it looks like it really hurts. Yeah. And I even kind of like, I was throwing him under the bus a little bit. I said, the Kurt Angle thing, he started the rainbow moonsault that everybody freaking does. And that's why when they land, they don't look like the shit hurts. Yeah. But Muta, that's why he's a different animal. That's why he's one of the greatest. And she does it the same way. And that, to me, I don't even need to see her do the handspring into the elbow. I don't need to see her miss anybody. That right there told me everything.
That's awesome. Yeah. I didn't even know that we would get that out of this, watching this show, since the Great Sakurai isn't even in it.
No, she's not. Yeah. But the whole day's worth it now, just for that one moment. Yeah.
And the team of Magenta with Riko and Maria are defending their titles against the Darkness Revolution team of Chiaki and Misa Matsui. And I didn't know exactly what to make of this team initially, because they're called Darkness Revolution. Yeah. But they also, they dance a lot and they're really happy. Yeah. But they also brawl. So it's a little bit of... And then you look at the team of Magenta and they're like gang members, basically. Like toughs on the street kind of thing.
They're the ones that I always like to reference Roppongi area, even though I've never been there like you have, Chris. But it's like, these are the kids that are inside the arcade. And then the ones outside that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, these are the ones like in the alley beside the thing, like shaking people down for quarters.
Exactly. Yeah. And talking about the earlier appearance from the rest of their teammates, they don't even look as much like them either. Right. And I said, they're like a punk rock festival. Yeah. Like, it's the different genres. There's hardcore punk, there's pop punk, and they're definitely pop punk.
Yeah, the Darkness Revolution,
Yeah, and then there was a more goth punk. Yeah. So it's like, so they're all inclusive. I like that too.
I do like that. I noticed that recently, and I'm glad you mentioned that because Misa Matsui wears like a gothic Lolita kind of inspired gimmick. She's got the frills and the skirt and everything, and then Chiaki has more of the like denim. You said, punk show denim patches all over it kind of look.
Sure.
So, but it works and it fits, and it reminds me of. I swear.
The Warped Tour.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll stop talking about Stardom, but there was...
I mean, there's clearly parallels here. Yeah.
There was a faction called Oedo Tai in Stardom back when I started watching, and the incarnation, it had turned into something different by the time that I started watching. Darkness Revolution reminds me of Oedo Tai, and the main tag team from that was Hana Kimura and Kagetsu, was her teammate. Okay. And Hannah is like she wasn't actually flamboyant. She was wearing like dark colors, but she was very much like the pretty girl, and she would play that up. Okay. And then Kagetsu was more just, I'm gonna fight you kind of. So it felt like a mismatch, but it worked. And so I look at Chiaki and Misa Matsui, and it looks like a mismatch sort of, but it works.
Yeah. And they were very good too. Like, definitely at this point in the show, I've got this as the best match. Yeah. And it was very entertaining. I'm a tag team wrestling fan anyway. I got the whole Muta connection going for me. And obviously I didn't have as much as going in like interest in Maria, but she impressed me. Yeah. They work very well as a team. They look alike. They do move decently alike. Yeah. And everything just worked. And the opposition, everybody was solid in this match. And they really never took their foot off the gas either.
Right. I will say that the team of Magenta did seem to have better tag team chemistry throughout the match. Yeah. Because they were doing multi-layered like tandem moves throughout a good portion of the match until they started to kind of have to go one-on-one. Yeah. And
that's important to me. Double team moves, like, it's like kind of almost, it's sort of a lost art with a lot of teams that just get thrown together. Yeah. And then when they all of a sudden start doing moves together, it's kind of usually not good. Yeah. So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Because there was that one sequence, I don't remember everything that was in it, but they just 3 or 4 or 5 moves, just one after the other, and it ended up with like Chiaki down, like face up on the mat, and Misa Matsui like on top of her, and then one of Magenta like does the alley-oop, like lifts her partner up and into a foot stomp over her head.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen that.
Stack. So
never seen that before.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I guess I'm watching Marvelous now too, so I'll see them more as well. But
oh yeah. And there's definitely some intrigue, especially if we get to the finish of it. So
yes, and so it ends up to where Misa Matsui ended up being isolated in the ring for a really long time, and she was holding her own, but it felt like she was getting weaker as it went, because I think it was Maria that she ended up fighting against at the longest moment, like towards the end. I do want to spoil this because we have new tag team champions, and so Maria had Misa Matsui. This was for sure going to be the finish, because it was like, I guess it was a Michinoku driver, but like a really like spiked looking like driver
jumping version. Yeah.
And she hits it, and Matsui is down, but Misa Matsui manages to roll forward, and she ends up getting a European clutch, like, immediately out of it, which was beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
And she bridges out, and they're both shaking, and you can see Maria, like, trying to rock back and forth, and she gets her.
Yeah, she got a trap pin on her, like, and I couldn't even be mad about that, even though I was like, that's an upset!
Yeah.
But it was well done.
And then just like the smile on Misa's face, and Chiaki comes in, and like, it was a super cool moment.
And you were like, they're supposed to be heels.
Yeah,
and I was
but they're
like,
fun.
But they're fighting Invader opposition,
right.
So it's a default thing.
Yeah.
So it's also a way that'll amp up the intrigue for their show now too. Now that they're champs, now they can be horrible if they want to.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So they beat up the darker kids that are scarier,
right?
And now they're going to get that kind of energy off of it.
Yeah. Now we can all have fun, and we're going to be mean about it.
Sure.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So I thought it was a really really good match, and
I wonder if keep me updated in the future.
Sure.
If they're going to keep invading, or it's just this is one of those temporary things to kind of get some buzz going.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm kind of curious as to what the relationship is here.
And I will say, you love the backslide, and to you that is like, I'm not gonna say it's the ultimate, but it's one of your favorite pins.
It's kind of a be all end all. Like it still puts people away too.
I think to me at this point, the European clutch is probably mine. That is my backslide, because Misa did it here. Zack Sabre Jr. That's one of his finishers.
That like it definitely bled through not just NXT UK, but like USA NXT. Like you see it, and you've been seeing it over the years. It's definitely.
I think if you can lock it in, it should be a 100% pin.
Yeah, I can't really argue it. Yeah.
But speaking of that, we're going to move into the next match. And this is a rookie versus mentor match. This is the Sendai Girls World Champion, Chihiro Hashimoto, versus the super rookie that I've talked up on the match of the week.
Number 18.
Yes, number 18, Seri Yamaoka.
So how many promotions is that now that have made it onto this show? Like, this is the third one, right?
Yeah. Sendai, Marvelous, Marigold. Yeah, I mean, you want to count All Japan Women?
Sure. Why not? Yeah. Why not do that?
Yeah.
So the old guard versus new guard match, it's a pretty ageless thing. And I was asking you, like, did she like help train her in any way? Like, or is this just mostly a gatekeeper kind of thing?
See, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know that Hashimoto trained Seri Yamaoka. They have a similar style because it's very amateur based. Like, because most of the match took place on the mat. Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of not a lot of high spot, high flying kind of thing. They definitely shop at the same store, I will say. I believe that to be a thing. Yeah, Hashimoto coming out like Max Moon on steroids. And filtered through like 3 more decades of color. I mean, and just all the color palettes. If you're a fan of early 90s aesthetics, then this is a match for you. Because it's not just her. It's the whole match looks like this. And there's the other one, when she took her gear off, I'm like, whoa, we got bright colors here too. You couldn't tell by what she was wearing to the ring.
Right?
But all that, sorry, I'm just painting a little picture here, even though they used all the paint.
Yes.
But yeah, this is a cool wrestling match. And I like how kind of true life it is. Like, and I know that Seri was obviously upset about this. I would be too. Yeah. She made a few mistakes in the match.
Sure.
But it's the one match that probably should happen.
Yeah.
Because it leads to the dialogue of the match. Right. And even as bad as some of the commentating was, I will say they at least gave enough background, and they at least took that opportunity to cover for, in that sense, like, hey, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't want to see anybody blow their spots in a match, but once again, this actually probably really played up the match and almost helped it a little bit.
Yeah, because I remember the one point where Yamaoka tried to jump onto the top rope and she kind of slipped off and didn't make it. But it plays into the match because by that point, Hashimoto had like wrestled her down on the mat and she would not give her anything.
He was grinding at her. It was like watching the match too. It's like you hadn't seen the match. And I love that you probably saw some different things in it this time, but I was just like, she's not giving her anything. Like she even like noped her a couple of times, like in a not in a Joe way, but like in that kind of like, no, you got to earn that one.
Right. I mean, it 100% felt like a shoot for a good portion of that first part of the match.
She will make her look awkward and potentially even hurt the match. Like you're normally not supposed to make your opposition look stupid and not sure of themselves. But there was that one where there was like that sidestep and she almost slipped. And I was like, whoa.
She went for Hashimoto's foot and she just pulled it back.
Yeah, I was like, people don't do that though. Yeah. Like you don't see that in wrestling matches.
But it was also, like, I don't think it made her look stupid, though. I think...
No, I'm saying the potential is there.
Right. I guess what I'm trying to say is this was... People knew going... I mean, it's a world champ who's been wrestling for 15 years, I think, something like that. Yeah. Maybe 10, 15. I don't remember how long Hashimoto... And Seri Yamaoka is 11 months into her...
It's insane.
Career. And she's already really good. I've talked about her probably too much, but...
Yeah, no, and once again... You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like if the commentating was in Japanese, I wouldn't know that she has been in less than a year. That's insanity to me.
And she's very unique because this is going a little out of time, but there was a show that happened just after this one that we're talking about, the Mask Fiesta, which I mentioned.
Yes.
And so everybody comes out in masks. Most of them wore their gear, but some of them wear costumes over their gear, and Seri Yamaoka is one that wore a costume over her gear. I didn't know in this match who was who initially.
Oh, wow.
But then when she got into the ring, the first move she did, I was like, oh, that's Seri Yamaoka.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
She wrestles in such a unique way to me that I instantly recognized her. So I think that's important.
No, that's neat, man. I like that.
Speaking of the gear, I did want to mention that I have something here to show you, which is great for radio. But her gear is actually inspired. She was teammates with the woman who I do believe was her trainer, which is Nanae Takahashi. They were the former Marigold tag team champions together.
Oh, okay.
So that's them together, and you can see where the multicolored gear comes from.
Yeah. That is cool looking, man.
Yeah.
That's better than anything I saw at my doorstep for the last couple of days.
And so when Seri comes to the ring, she's wearing like that big fur coat and the cowboy hat with the fringe on it.
Yeah, cool look.
Takahashi wore that too, so that's where that comes from.
Nice.
And like the wording on her gear that she wears now, it's a little bit different than what she wore then, but it says like passion. Mm-hmm. Nanae Takahashi wore the word passion on hers as well. So that's where it comes from. And this match, the commentators mentioned that Seri Yamaoka has said that she looks up to two wrestlers. And one of them is Julia, who people will know from the WWE now. And the other one is Hashimoto. So this was a proving ground of sorts.
Sure.
But also, like we were talking about, how these promotions build up rookies that they see potential in from the ground, maybe not the ground up, but they train them in their style and they keep them for a long time. Yeah. You see that in New Japan, you see that in all these promotions.
Yes. And if I know anything about the tradition of it, they don't just put a rocket under their,
right.
They don't shoot them up into the main event slot. they got to freaking climb each rung in this business.
There was, I won't mention her name, but there was someone in Stardom that I felt like they did that to, and I didn't think she had gotten good enough to be where they put her.
I know you're thinking of, but I won't say it. Yeah.
But for the most part, that was an exception.
Yeah.
And so a match like this, where Hashimoto just dominates Yamaoka for the first 5 minutes, and then Yamaoka does get a little bit here and there, but she slips on the ropes, and because she's tired, and Hashimoto brings her in and beats her and gets her down.
I thought she actually put her out like legit a couple of times in that match. I was like scared for her.
Yeah, so I like this kind of thing.
No,
like,
it's intriguing to me. Like, I was captivated.
Earn your stripes, and I know that Seri Yamaoka, when they got out of this match, she was like, thank you. Like, you know, like I really truly feel that that's the case, because she looks up to this champion like so much that for her to even go out there and step in the ring with her is a big deal, because there's no reason for her. Hashimoto doesn't have to do that.
Sure,
she's the champion over there. So when Seri Yamaoka is a champion in like 5 years or whatever, and you look back at her first year in the business and you point to a match like this, and this was a turning point, and it's going to be remembered as that. So yes, it was very one-sided. The finish, Hashimoto, I really liked the
sudden
finish. Yeah, it was sudden, but it was also like, okay, you're done. Yeah. We're done with this match.
Yeah.
So I don't even know exactly how to describe it, but Seri was on her back, and Hashimoto like grapevined her legs behind her and hooked them with her own legs. Yeah. And she had the other arm trapped underneath her, and she is much larger than Seri.
Yes.
And she put all of her weight on her entire body, so the only thing free was her right arm, so there was just no chance to kick out.
And this is a phrase that's used in amateur wrestling. She mounted her. Yeah. Like, that's just how it ended. And engulfed might even be a term you could use to describe that.
And the reason I really like that a lot is because, to me, it says, I respect this rookie so much. I know that she's not going to give up.
Yeah.
But she's had enough. Yeah. So if I don't...
She didn't put the foot on her chest.
Yeah. If I don't do this, she's going to kick out, and I'm going to have to hurt her more.
Sure.
So she made it so that there was no possibility, and there was no possibility of kicking out of that. Nobody would have kicked out of that.
Live to fight another day.
Yeah. She didn't...
Much like Gigaton.
Yes. But yeah, she didn't submit her. She didn't slam her. She just said, all right, you had enough.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So these next two matches are the two singles titles. The first one here, as I described it to you, is the equivalent of the Intercontinental title or the Unified title in AEW.
Which they did a good job of that, because it absolutely reminded me of the Intercontinental title, because the white-based belt.
Yes.
I'm like, that's it for me, like, at this point.
And they have a habit of just calling them, and they do this in Stardom too, it's like the white belt and the red belt.
And that's the commentator. I was like, what are the commentators? Like, really, are they trying to put it over like we call Flair's belt, Big Gold?
Right,
like the Winged Eagle. Are we trying to do that?
Yeah, and...
branding?
I feel...
merch?
I guess I'm not annoyed by it, but... because I can hear, like, when they talk about them in Japanese, like the wrestlers, they call them that too. But this is called the United National Title. And going into the match, the champion was Mai Sakurai, and she faced the young upstart of Victoria Yuzuki.
Okay, now the way this match was framed going in, as someone who's not watching the weekly shows and seeing the package and seeing the entrances, I was like, this is going to be a spotlight for this champion, because the other one just looked, there was a lot of trepidation in the face. Like, she came to the ring confident enough, but it seemed like as the match started, and even like during the announcements, I was just like, she just looks like she's in deep and out of her league, and the whole thing. And and even the announcers played on that, and so I bought into it.
Yeah.
This match started, and it was one of those matches that I've been kind of talking about lately, where it's like, the first third or fourth of it, it's like, okay. It doesn't have that like urgency and feel. It just, once again, it looks like it's going to be another night in the office for the champ, and this is going to be not an easy defense, but it'll be something that's not really like too back and forth. the other one will get a little bit of offense, and we'll go home after that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of match, apparently.
No, it was not.
It went... at some point it flipped. I don't even know when it happened, but there was a lot of out ring stuff.
I can tell you when it happened.
Okay, hit me.
So
I'll remember if you tell me. I think.
So you're 100% right. You see when Mai Sakurai is on her way to the ring, because of course she comes out second.
Yeah.
Victoria is already in the ring. You can see the nerves on her face. She looks nervous.
Yeah.
And
potentially worldwide audience.
Yeah. I mean, this has got to be the biggest platform. And if you looked at, so in the world title match coming up, you can see Victoria Yuzuki in that losing to the person who has the title match in the next one. So it feels, to me, it felt like this is, Yuzuki is almost there, but not quite. That's the feeling that they gave me with the promos, having only watched a month. And yes, as it begins, Mai Sakurai, who is her elder, she's only been wrestling for 5 years, I found out. I thought she'd been wrestling for a lot longer than that. But Mai Sakurai is her elder, and she's treating her kind of like a child. Well, I mean, you don't beat children like this, I hope.
Sure.
But she was just laying into her, like, really hard. And like you, I thought that it was going to be a very one-sided match with a little bit of offense to be like, oh, she has heart, but she still lost.
Yeah, like they got us ready for it with the previous match. I just thought it was going to be a repeat.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was not, because there was a certain point where Yuzuki did start to fight back, and they ended up on the apron, and there was... Yuzuki got Mai Sakurai out onto the apron, and... How
can I forget this? I feel so bad.
Mai went for something, and Yuzuki got out of it, and then Yuzuki attempted a German suplex on the apron to Mai Sakurai, and she got it. But when she did it, Mai Sakurai landed pretty much on her face.
Like, almost all of her weight on there. Like, you could... That could end a career right there, that move. And I'm surprised it didn't. Yeah. It literally just gave her a little bit of blood in her mouth.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, I think probably the inside of her lips were all cut up. I was afraid she probably lost a tooth or something. Or she kept checking her mouth.
I think some dentistry might be in order here, yeah.
Like, there was nothing missing, but, I mean, that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been loose or in pain. But Mai Sakurai also hit her head on the apron, the hardest part of the ring. And...
Pause. Yeah. Chris, those commentators, at some point, and I could be fast-forwarding in here, but I have to bring this up or I'll forget.
Yeah.
Somebody takes a tombstone pile driver on the floor, and it got referred to in commentary as the hardest part of the ring.
Right.
They didn't say side at the end of that or pause.
No.
They just said the hardest part of the ring. And I mean, wow, how does that even... Okay. Sorry, continue.
So it takes a while for both Yuzuki and Sakurai to get back in, and Yuzuki is clearly hurt by what just happened. Like, her whole face is red. There's a little blood around her mouth. Can't exactly tell where the cuts are, but they're there, and she keeps checking. But that also fired Yuzuki up, and like her fighting spirit kicked in at that time, because I guess if that was the worst that was going to happen to her,
I hope so.
Which is arguable, because Sakurai still laid in a lot on her.
Yeah.
But if she could survive that and keep going, it was like, all right, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, and it becomes like the Haas fight of the night. Yeah. It is something else.
Yeah. So it's very much an underdog match.
Yeah.
And it's fought that way because Sakurai still got most of the offense, most of the big offense.
Oh, yeah. She was ahead on points the entire match.
Yeah.
So as we talk about it, I feel like people might even actually realize where this is going. But... Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an underdog comeback story because Victoria Suzuki she usually does it from a standing position. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it's like that standing corkscrew kind of splash thing that she does. And she missed it the first time when she was in the ring. And eventually it gets to where she has Mai Sakurai down near the corner, and Yuzuki goes up to the top, and she does that move. I don't know what it's called yet. I need to look it up. But she does that, like, spinning sideways corkscrew.
Yeah, no.
And it lands, like, just completely, like, bodied onto Sakurai. Like, lower midsection. It turned into a huge senton, basically.
Yeah. And, like, I've been seeing the standing version that Mina Shirakawa does currently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Like that. But it's not from like a top. Like it's. I mean, there's a lot in this move. Yeah. Like it's just once again, I can't get over the fact like how, not for nothing, small in stature a lot of these ladies.
Yeah.
But they do splashes and high cross bodies, and there's so much freaking velocity on these things.
They put their full body into it. They're not afraid of hurting the other.
Yeah.
They're not dangerous.
No.
But they're not afraid to put their entire body into it. You see that with we've talked about Kairi Sane's elbow and things like that, where she puts her whole body into it. Yeah. My Sakurai had an elbow drop in this one, and she is a taller woman than Kairi is, and my Sakurai put her whole body into that elbow drop.
Yeah.
It wasn't like land on your feet and fall. It was like, I'm going to lead with this elbow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just the style they do. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really fun to watch. And that's like one of the most cliched things I could say.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely true.
And so Victoria Suzuki did win the title. The up-and-coming wrestler beat the more established wrestler. Mai Sakurai, for people listening, she was in Giulia's faction in Stardom, Donna Del Mondo. She was in that faction with her. So if that gets you to maybe watch.
Yeah. There's a whole, like, this is the Intercontinental title equivalent, kind of takes me back to one of the earliest wrestling things I could reference and have a memory of, is just renting some of the old home videos and seeing like Tito Santana facing off against Greg Valentine, who's just beating his ass, and he's got to play catch up to him. So just the fact that it's kind of the equivalent of that kind of title. It's like, it feels like that. Came from behind and won.
Yeah.
And she did the same thing. Surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we already had one upset, and this is another one, and a second title change in that upset.
Yeah.
But really neat. Like, once again, it feels like a launch show, like the way that they're going with it. It's almost like they bought another company and are putting their champions over.
Right.
Like hey, these are our actual people, and but it feels like that. But once again, just not knowing shit, but enjoying the show. How about that?
Cool.
There's the headline.
And that leads us right into the Marigold World Title match. Going into this, the champion, the red belt, by the way.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah. Kind of reminded me of the old NWA national title or TV title.
Okay.
So,
Going into this match, Utami Hayashishita. I had struggled with that name for forever. So I'm proud that I can say it now.
That was one take, too. Yeah.
Is the champion. Yeah, I said I'd stop talking about Stardom. I'm not gonna, because I have to say this.
You have to.
Yeah, because my first experience with Utami was in Stardom. She came in to the faction that was led by Iyo Sky, which was Queen's Quest, and that was Iyo Sky was, of course, like, if not the champ, one of the top three in the company. It was Kairi, Iyo, and Mayu, and those were like the top three.
Boom.
And whenever Iyo left to go to WWE, Utami rose to the leader of the Queen's Quest, and she became world champion over there. So, pretty good pedigree. I think she was a rookie when I first started watching her, so she's only been wrestling for 6-7 years, maybe. Somewhere around there, I think.
And Chris, once again, has pictures to prove it.
Yes.
He was there.
Yes. So, Utami is the second Marigold World Champion. She beat Sareee for this title. So there you go.
All right.
And she is.
So she good.
Yes. She was one of my favorites in Stardom. She's one of my favorites here. I really like the way she wrestles. She is facing the challenger of Miku Aono. And Miku won I think they call it the Dream Star Grand Prix. It's something like that. It's basically the G1 for Marigold.
I was like, they like their Grand Prix over there, don't they? Not a big racing culture, though, right?
Right. No, I don't. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I saw one person wear checkerboard to the ring, and it wasn't her. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
So Miku Aono is another up-and-coming. She even talked about this on the show at some point, saying, everybody's talking about the other company, but I didn't come from there. Like, I am, like, this is my company. So she is the up-and-comer facing Utami Hayashishita, and I thought comparing this to the previous match, This one was very much a straightforward, even playing field kind of fight in my eyes.
It even from the entrances, once again, just the feeling out process. By the way, the commentator predicted a feeling out process.
Oh yeah,
before we got to the meet.
Right.
I'm like, you don't do that. Like you could say this is what you want to see, or what do you think might happen? Well, I think this might happen. He just flat out said.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But I will say, just from my perception and just watching it, if you watch it with the sound off, I feel like you get the same kind of feel for this.
Yeah.
It felt like a true number one contender wrestling the champion.
Yeah.
Even match for the most part with just that slight X factor that could make a difference.
Right.
Yeah, and even out of the video package, I got that.
Yeah, and even the entrance gear, I think.
Wow, I even said it looked like the fucking Met Gala of pro wrestling. Like that was some stuff right there.
Utami's gear was pretty amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, also like figure guy here, like immediately made me want to be like, someone's got to get with them and start putting out stuff because that some of this is too good to miss out on in action figure form. Okay, sorry.
So as the match begins, Utami is the powerhouse of... They both wrestle sort of with power.
Yeah, they look like... It's like very even Steven on even just like the weight and the height and the whole... You know, like it looked evenly matched for me.
Yeah, but I did feel like Utami was getting the upper hand in the first part of the match. And as they go along, there's a point where, once again, they go out to the apron... And this is where everything changes in so many matches, because this
is a trend in world title matches, even in the States. We got a freaking fork in the head like 3 minutes into a match recently, and then this happens. I mean, this isn't a fork in the head, but this is a game changer.
So Utami, Miku on the apron, and Miku starts setting up a move. At first, it looks like it might be a tombstone.
Yeah, or just maybe a regular pile driver?
Yeah, but that's not what happens, because she takes her right foot and she puts it in front of Utami's downstretched hand, and then she works, and it's tight space to get it through the between Utami's other hand and the rope, but she does it, and she does a Styles Clash onto Utami onto the apron.
I feel like maybe I've seen that, but I definitely haven't seen it on the reg.
Yeah.
It feels like you've seen it, but like it's so shocking still. Like, may I never get used to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that definitely changed the match.
It changed the complexion of the match, as they say. And I'm surprised the commentators didn't say that. That's a little bit of a cliche.
They have their own weird cliches. I think we're up to about 18 days to confuse now. And that's a conservative number.
And then, so obviously that made it, to me, that's kind of where it started to be a little bit more even, or back and forth, I should say.
Yeah.
Throughout this match, Miku kept focusing, not constantly, but repeatedly on Utami's leg. And she set her up for a Scorpion Deathlock early, like pretty early in the match.
That was good.
And I think she did a Texas Cloverleaf.
Yeah.
I think this was this match.
And once again, commenting on their actual physical stature.
Yeah.
And just lack of big, huge sizes makes a difference when it comes to moves like this.
Yeah.
We were talking about this like with the Trisha Doris spot. Like, people can't really do these things normally. So they're sitting all the way like on the small of their back, and they've got them like just, you know, in that Jason Lives position, like where they're just back or just folded up like this. And twice now this is happening in this match. So yeah, once again, they just really get to crank on these moves.
Yeah.
And usually they're just kind of just kind of pedestrian in it. Like, when they really commit to it, it's like, oof, man. Yeah. So you really buy into the submission psychology.
Yeah.
Whenever you can just kind of manipulate people, like, because they're more flexible.
Right.
It just plays.
Yeah.
It can also be a David Goliath thing too.
Right.
It works on that level.
It was like Melina, like how many people like stretched her to where her foot touched her head.
Beth Phoenix making Melina kick herself in her own head is an all-time moment. Yeah. I mean, I know Lesnar did the same thing with like Rey Mysterio, stuff like that, and Eddie. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so that was a theme throughout the match, which actually started paying off. Miku was playing the long game. She was taking a lot of punishment. But there was that one moment where I think you even marked out for it a little bit, where Miku whips Utami towards the rope and Utami can't run. She collapses down to the mat.
Yeah. An underrated move in pro wrestling psychology.
And she does get back up, and she still fights, but you can see that the damage is there.
That tells you everything, even if you're in the back of the row, without having to do too much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I guess I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but you also really like the whirly bird, because you saw that in the promo video leading up to it. And
that's a really good one, too. It's basically a power bomb, which is unlike a way people normally do it.
Yeah, it's like a whirly bird combined with half a razor's edge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's Utami's move, and she gets Miku up in it, and she does the spin with her in the crucifix position, and then she just slams her down.
Yeah, spikes her.
Yeah.
And for someone that got into that move, and it's been one of my favorites because the Skyscrapers used to do it, and Sid Vicious definitely used to do it.
Yeah.
And even though Sid Vicious's move is the power bomb, his whirly bird didn't have that effect.
Power bomb with it. Yeah.
He had to do both things to get across, but she gets it done in one move. Yeah. That impressed me.
Yeah. And she also perfectly tossed her into the exact right position in the ring, because this was a moment where,
it should be the finish.
Utami finishes matches with that.
They showed her in the video package preceding this match to put someone away with that move. So that's a finisher. And that's how I saw it.
Yeah. And so they are towards the side of the ring, and the camera's in both of their faces as the referee's counting. And as the referee is about to do the 3 count, Miku puts her hand up and grabs the rope that we didn't see before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost did that sidebar again. I'll tell you what. The referee count.
All right.
Let's finally get into it here.
Okay.
I don't mean it to... And by the way, people should see this match, so we shouldn't spoil everything about it. But I had that moment recently watching the world title match in CMLL.
Yeah.
And the referees have their own style and their own thing. And apparently they are nothing if they're not consistent.
Yeah.
It's keep in mind when you watch this show, that's the same kind of deal. And I'm definitely not trying to steer people away from the show, but the way the referees count, and Chris does like to bring this up, and he's right, they are consistent with this. But you have to understand that here is the average referee count, and let's say I'm going to commit to the 3 here. Okay. It's 1, 2, and 3.
Or there's sometimes even a longer pause.
I'm being for the purpose of radio and tightening up the show. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2 Mississippiana 3. So that's the whole show.
Yeah.
The referees do that in this company and or maybe in this county or zip code.
It's not just Marigold.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah.
They give you a chance to kick out.
Yeah.
But everybody gets a chance. It's fine. You just have to get used to it.
I understand that, and I know you haven't experienced it as much. I'm used to it now, so I didn't really even think about it that much.
Yeah, and
I think I did
started
warn
complaining,
you a little bit.
Like not complaining, but I was like, "The hell!" Like I was like doing the Bryce Rimsberg thing, or the like, "No, you're on the take, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Like, no, he's like, "No, it's not like that."
I kind of like it though, because one, it is consistent.
Okay.
And also, it's like it gives the wrestler a chance to either kick out, and if they don't, 100% the match is over. There's no kicking out at 3, oh, I just didn't beat the count. They watch to make sure that it's over, and then it's the 3.
Yeah. It's a bit of an ask just because you're talking about erasing 35 plus years of this is how the brain goes. Yeah. So and I'm not mad about it. I'm not saying burn the company down. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying it takes a bit of getting used to is all I'm saying. And I'm just I'm trying to I'm doing that thing where some of the hackier announcers that I've talked about over the years, I'm trying to be the voice of the people here. Yeah. For someone's like, hey, well that's a funny thing. Why is that?
Yeah.
And then the other guy says, well actually.
Right.
In the best possible way.
I was the well actually guy this time.
Sure,
I usually hate those guys, but yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. No, like I said, it's something I felt that needed to be addressed for the purpose of full disclosure.
Yes. I get it. Yeah.
All right, back to the show. It's still part of the show.
Yeah. So, we were pretty much at the end of that world title match. Do you want to say who won that match?
Actually, no. Let's leave a little to mystery.
So what I just mentioned does lead pretty quickly to the finish a little bit after that. So I'll just say that.
Okay, yeah. By the way, well done psychology.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love the psychology. I thought it was really good. Like
Yeah.
the legwork to actually start to pay off towards the end.
That
it was super cool.
That was good. And for us, like, where I think the thing that we get the most upset about in general is not having any submission work play into a finish.
Yeah.
Like when it's just ignored.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't help by not limping to the back.
Right.
Like, help me out here.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. But no, they're pros.
Yes.
Pros over here. Stellar, I might even add.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we are finally at the main event of the night. And this was the reason that I started watching Marigold. This was the reason I signed up for Wrestle Universe, even though I found out that I didn't need to because it was just a pay-per-view anyway. But I'm happy that I did. I got so much more out of this show because I've been watching for a month. So I'm glad I did what I did.
I gotta say, and I knew that because of the way you reacted to this show as a whole, doing Match of the Week, that kind of excitement made me go, let's super show this. Because I could tell, like, oh wow, this was a match that was built up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it was a disappointment.
Right.
We've been through some of those in our lives.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, there's an obvious one we could point to. We won't. But, like, just the fact that I know that Chris has put in this kind of time, and I guess it'd be kind of fun to even super show this had it not delivered, but this match delivers. Spoiler! It delivers. Like, yes, I love when a dream match actually comes through.
Yeah.
So, Chris, take it away.
So this is the Dream Destiny match. This is the current super flyweight champion of Marigold, Mayu Iwatani, versus the incoming WWE superstar, as they kept saying on the show, Iyo Sky.
Yeah, the genius of the sky.
Yes.
The one who jumped off the cage with a trash can wrapped around her. She's ridiculous, and we love her. And I always want to point at the head, too. It's contagious.
Yeah.
So she's been one of the absolute joys of any inkling I've had to watch WWE. She's definitely in that conversation of like, man, when I want to kind of go over sometimes and do it, it's for people like that. Even though I don't really do it. I don't really not at all. But Chris is completely out on watching WrestleManias. Yeah. I still watch the Rumble and WrestleMania every year. Sometimes I don't know why, but I will say. And I'm trying to do my inner color commentator and guy that, like, if I ever get a shot at this, that I won't choke. And I'm sitting there in the booth with my headset on, and I'm saying, this is the woman who stole WrestleMania 2 years in a row, running right now, currently. Stole the show both times for me, even as a jaded out fan. And the fact that she's able to come in and put this new company over that's kind of tied into her old company.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But it's just like, this is a crazy moment, and there's even way more background than even I realized going into this, and then Chris has been kind of letting me know about it. Yeah. So, this got my butt in the seat, obviously, too. So
I'm just glad that you had all of that, and you said that it did live up to your hopes.
Because you kind of know what the deal is because she's being allowed to do this.
Right.
Quote unquote allowed. I love that, by the way. And hey, I'm going to circle back to Muta because they let Shinsuke Nakamura come over and wrestle Muta. It's fun. It's fine. Yeah. If only we could get moments like this where someone's still in their prime too. Yeah. This is, it blows it away in that sense. Yeah. Like I appreciate the moment that Muta got and all that, and like getting that kind of tribute. It's a tribute match more than anything. It's spectacle. Yeah. This thing is a wrestling match. This is something that should be held up to the current standards of whatever star ratings that people like to put on things. And this thing, I definitely got it penciled in as one of the top matches of the year.
Awesome. I love that you reacted to it that way, that you liked it that much. So
yeah, not a forced thing. I was gonna try to get a little back and forth with you, but I got to be very vanilla about it, apparently.
Well, because you know how much I love both of these wrestlers. Of course, many people know Iyo Sky at this point. Yeah. I've talked about Mayu Iwatani like a lot for many years. Yeah. My first Stardom show that I ever saw, I saw it live in Korakuen Hall, and it was June 21st, 2017, and the main event of that match was Mayu Iwatani challenging Iyo Shirai for the red belt in Stardom, the World Championship in Stardom.
It's the same person, by the way.
Yes. So, and I think I've told the story before, but I'll say it again. I was not sure how much I was going to like the show, so I didn't spend the money to get the ringside seats. So I was in, if you see a
which wasn't ridiculous.
No,
either.
I mean, it's not a big venue. It's a few
yeah.
hundred people, I think. If you've seen shows from Korakuen Hall, then, and if you've watched Japanese wrestling, you probably have, then the camera is always on the side, like away from the bleachers where I was. I was pretty far in the back. And this...
Were you in like the New Jack / Darby Allin / Sting position?
Yes, I was.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because there was, I think there's 2 entrances.
Now everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, thank you, yeah. 2 entrances, like where you walk through and then you walk up. I was literally on the edge of the top of one of the entrances, so I could lean forward and rest my hands on the banister, or not the banister, but the wall, because that's where the entrance dropped off. Yeah. So during the course of that match, Iyo and Mayu are fighting through the crowd, and they come up, and they come up, and then Iyo is knocked down at the bottom of the entrance that I'm over. Mayu Iwatani climbs up the steps and comes down my aisle and is standing literally 2 inches in front of my face, standing on that wall as she dives onto Iyo that is down on the thing. So,
and Chris gets on the cover of his first magazine.
Yes. The back of my head was on the Stardom site for a while, because they had an image of Mayu like spread out diving, and you could see the back of my head on there. And I was like, that's me. So anyway, that's my history with it and why I was so excited to watch this match.
I was on Raw for 2 seconds.
Yeah. My hand was on Raw.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yes.
So
why do we do that? We do that thing.
So for me, having that own personal history and then watching this match, I was a little nervous about...
I can imagine, like, you have everything to lose in this.
Personally, as a fan, because... I really enjoy both of these wrestlers, and I wanted it to be as good as I hoped it would. I think it was. And it's a very different match than they had 8.5 years ago now, I guess. Dang. But...
Just throw me in the ground already.
Right.
Like, isn't it great, though, like, not completely beaten down by the system that Iyo's currently in?
Yeah.
And I even made that comment. And thankfully, like, you have already seen the match, so me saying anything and pre-shit talking isn't going to really register here. But I was just kind of like, how long is it going to take for her to shake that bullshit off and like really sink into it? Maybe a minute, if that is what it took in here for. Because I was like, she's going to wake up at some point. And hey, not for nothing, she got 90% great dance partners out there.
Yeah.
So she's still got the energy. She's still got a lot of her conditioning, but you go over there, it's a different animal. Also, I feel like you wakes her up a little bit. Like, I mean, there's no way she wasn't anticipating this. If she didn't want to be here, she wouldn't. Right.
And I've talked about how hard Mayu hits during a match. We've talked about how all of these women hit hard.
She'll take a couple of years off your career.
Yeah. And Mayu is definitely one of the ones that lays into it with her kicks and strikes. And
she might be the most deceiving out of all of them.
Yeah. Because she's kind of a goofball, and she's clumsy, and then, like, when she's not wrestling, and then when she's wrestling, she's just, like, 100% into it.
She looks like the one that, like, you kind of question as to why, but she's the one that can't get the date in the movie somehow. And you're like, what's wrong with her?
Right.
But then, like, the bell rings, like, God.
So, when both women are in the ring, Mayu Iwatani looks, I wouldn't say nervous, but it looked like they were nerves, because her face was serious. Mm-hmm. Like, she kind of...
Yeah, there was the wipe.
Yeah, just kind of staring straight ahead and, like pumping herself up, maybe. I don't know what exactly. Yeah. Iyo Sky, huge smile on her face, like, the whole time. So, she's happy to be here kind of look on her face.
And not for nothing. Not that... what we know, the old school way of, like, watching Japanese wrestling as kids even, and seeing the reserved crowd. Yeah. It's still kind of like that. Yeah. Not completely.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But it's still like that in a lot of ways. And just even, like, them chanting Iyo,
Yeah.
I actually think it legit shook her for a minute.
Mayu.
Yeah, sorry, Mayu. Like, yeah, I think it clearly did.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. I was a little surprised that there were that many Iyo chants, and I didn't hear any Mayu chants.
Yeah. So that had, I mean, that I feel like that's a real life thing right there. So yeah.
And so they do some rolling around, and Iyo is still smiling throughout this, and then there's a point to where
it's like Rocky 3.
Yeah.
This is Thunderlips versus Rocky. It's like, hey, we're just having fun, aren't we?
Yeah. And then there's that one point where Mayu and Iyo are kind of in it, and it looked like maybe they didn't quite get what they wanted to get, and Mayu ends up shoving Iyo away, and she's down on the ground, and she's still smiling, but that smile isn't as big, and it's going more towards like a little bit of frustration and not as much happy to be here, and it's more of a like, okay, I see where this is going kind of thing.
Gotta push that jet lag aside and get on the clock.
And then once Mayu starts to kind of lay into Iyo a little, that smile goes away.
Yeah.
And that's when the match picks up and the forearms come out and the slams and the everything that they do.
Yeah. It's once again, it's a spectacle, but it pays off, and it's one you gotta see. I don't.
Yeah.
I could keep repeating myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, I think people should watch this match. I have to spoil this because I want to talk about something.
No, that's fair. I understood that this was gonna get spoiled, people. Yeah. But you might kind of already realize how it goes.
Yeah. If you want to watch it, bow out now and go watch it. But there was so much greatness in the middle of this match. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good. And they did some spots that I had seen in previous matches. The crab walk, not crab walk, but like the multiple German suplex where Iyo does the German and she bridges and then she flips over backward and gets another German and flips over backward. Yeah. And I've seen that the first time I ever saw either one of them was a clip online of one of their earlier matches where Iyo was doing that to Mayu.
Yeah, and that's the first time I've ever seen that sequence. Yeah. So I've never seen that clip. Yeah. I didn't even know that people could do that. Yeah. So I'm all like marking the fuck out for it, and it's like, yeah, this is great.
Another spot I gotta spoil is the blind back jumping poison rana that from the second or third rope that Mayu does. So she's looking the complete opposite way. She does not check to see that Iyo is behind her. She jumps backwards, hits her shoulders perfectly, rolls backwards into a poison rana, and keeps her legs hooked over her arms.
For a pin attempt.
Yeah, she gets a little bit out of it as she tries to bridge back over again.
Can't fault her for that.
Yeah, but it actually works 100% for the match. Because if she had bridged back over that as well, like the kick out wouldn't have been as believable to me.
And it was late in the match too.
Yeah. You could see both of them were beat up and tired. So.
And weirdly enough, I was leaning on that thing that I talked about on a previous Match of the Week episode, where I was talking about Amazing Red and Dragon Kid.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I kept leaning into this dialogue as we were watching the show, just kind of bullshitting around and being like, these people got stolen from and hijacking. We talked about people hijacking moves for Raw from ECW the day before. So that was already on the brain. And then I see a move like that and I go, no one's going to steal that. Yeah. Like, you can't do that anywhere.
Right.
Like
you can't physically do that.
You just can't. Like, I realize we just saw two ladies do this.
Yeah.
But that's not anything that's on the menu for anybody this week. You're not going to see that copied anywhere, because I think a few of them have more scruples than that, honestly. Let's just be honest. Because Iyo's living to her gimmick. Well, I'm crazy. I'm pointing ahead at the. I believe you now. I believed you when you did the trash can gimmick. Right. But you just upgraded the card for another year or two now. Thank you.
The match ends with Iyo Sky getting 2 consecutive moonsaults. Her perfect moonsault. Mayu actually
watching her soul leave her body. Also,
Mayu actually, before Iyo hit those, she did the moonsault of her own. She even stepped onto Iyo as she walked towards the corner, like Iyo always does. Yeah. And she hits the moonsault like pretty high up, chest and like bottom of her face. Yeah. So, and that could have been a finish. It wasn't. Iyo Sky gets 2 moonsaults and finishes the match, and
and she usually puts people away with one, so also respect.
More respect, yeah. So I'm not surprised. I was hoping that Mayu would win for multiple reasons. One, I think she's amazing. When that first show that I just talked about that I went to, when I came out of that, Mayu Iwatani was my favorite. And I remember that. Like, when I talked about the show, I would say there's this wrestler named Mayu Iwatani, and
I remember that.
I grew to like Iyo Shirai a lot more as I went, but Mayu was like, that's the one. So that's part of it. Also because, talked about the trio at the top of Stardom at the time. Kairi Sane left, goes to WWE.
Yes.
Iyo Shirai leaves, go to WWE. Mayu stays.
Yeah.
She stayed in Japan the entire time.
She's like the Tommy Dreamer of Japan. Yeah. She never sold out until, at some point maybe in time she might actually have to. Maybe. But you don't see it now, do you?
Yeah. She was the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, I believe, but she was never here full time.
Gotcha.
So she stayed. She kept the fires burning of like Joshi Pro Wrestling, even when it was like up and down, even over the past decade. Like she is called the icon. I believe that she is an icon, and for those reasons, plus you look at the IWGP Women's Championship. What was the first title match? It was Kairi Sane versus Mayu Iwatani. You remember me being not mad because I like Kairi.
Sure.
But you remember me being pretty disappointed because I wanted Mayu Iwatani to win that title first. And she didn't.
Yeah, you were like, it makes more sense if she wins it, and then she didn't.
And then in this one...
That was during Kairi coming back to Japan.
Yeah, when she quit the first time in WWE.
Yeah, we know why she quit, but
And then she, of course, went back.
And she went back. It's like, oh man, it hurts so much.
Yeah.
The second time.
Yeah.
More on that later.
Yeah. So for Mayu to headline this show that feels so important, and it's the invading Iyo Sky, you can say returning, but Iyo is invading in this show.
Yes. It's maybe not so much a one and done, but it's a one and maybe she'll come back. That's what it is. Because then they kind of imply, and in the language barrier, then they kind of imply that they will do this again, but they will team up next time if it happens again.
That's that's what Mayu was saying. She wanted their team. They were a tag team called Thunder Rock before they had a falling out. Iyo turned on Mayu. Yes. Iyo went to form Queen's Quest and became champion.
Gotcha.
So yes, and that's what the pose at the end that they did. That was their Thunder Rock pose. So that's what Mayu wants. Will WWE let it happen? I don't know. Because I know that Iyo is a pretty big star for them right now.
Yeah, she's definitely still a top star.
Yeah.
I don't want to say much to my chagrin. I'm doing that thing still where I used to do this so often for them.
Yeah.
I used to be like, I wish these TNA guys would just go over to WWE already. Like, I used to be that guy, and now I'm completely the opposite. Yeah. So, yeah. And you can't be mad about it, but I feel like the need to be selfish about it.
Yeah.
Because I also be like, they can still make good money. Like, in these places, especially if they get to freelance when they want.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that cool kind of deal now. People like Mercedes, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, you want her to be the one that did the 13 belts. Mm-hmm. I get it. Like, like she deserves it.
I just feel like she deserves her moment, and it feels like she's always kind of overshadowed by people that left or someone else that's coming up. And it's not always, but like in some of the biggest moments it is. Like the match that I talked about before, she beat Iyo. She won the championship there.
Yeah. And you would hope so.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So when Iyo was doing her speech at the end of the show, she
was doing the thank you for having me diplomatic thing.
Talking up Marigold and the wrestlers and saying this match wasn't the main event. The wrestlers before the championships, those were the important ones, kind of thing. And then when Mayu gets the mic, you mean like, oh, because Mayu shoves Iyo away.
Yeah, that was wild.
But it's more, and she even said it. She said One-chan, which means older sister, when she was referring to Iyo. And it feels like that kind of thing. She's never, to me, how I interpreted that is she's never been able to get out of that shadow.
The bridesmaid.
Yeah. So, and even in Japan where she stayed and she carried the torch.
Yeah.
But
you know, it's the wrestling business, guys.
I know. And I know that's me selfish as a fan wanting that to happen because I know Mayu was probably cool with everything that happened.
And to be fair, to the outsider here, I'll call myself the outsider. Yeah. Not the invader, but the outsider.
Yes.
The vibe I got off of this is this felt like such an important show, and it's like I've been calling it the launch show for them, and obviously not their first pay-per-view, but the way that they were talking at the end of it, it was like, people are going to see this more than they've ever seen us, so this is a show that is going to be important. I walked away from this show feeling like that this was them going, she is now going to be on that level with those who abandoned her. And I compared her to Tommy Dreamer, probably unfairly, because Tommy's bit is that he never really won the world title.
Right.
The one time he did, it was immediately taken away from him. She will be a long-time champion. She will be like that top person, and this is the last stop on the way to fulfilling her destiny.
Hope so. We'll see.
I have no doubt. Just the way that show ended and that whole thing. This was the last hurdle, I think, before achieving the true iconic status that she clearly deserves.
Yeah, because her 15th anniversary is coming up, like in January. So
that's when you hit your prime in pro wrestling. Apparently. Like, unless you're Kurt Angle.
So right. So I get it, and I'm not mad about it. But there is that part of me that was pulling for Mayu, and she didn't get it again, and I was a little disappointed by that. But I'm not disappointed in the show. I think for people like you and everyone else that are watching Marigold for the first time, I mean, me too, because I didn't start watching Marigold until I heard about this match happening. So for all of us, I think this is a launching point. You have new champs. All the champion, well, except for Mayu's flyweight champion.
Sure, yeah.
The other titles are all on tenured Marigold stars. Yeah. So it does feel like a turning point. So if you are jumping into watching the show, this is like absolutely the perfect introduction to it.
I think they just need one more thing to really get going.
What's that?
A mixed title. Mixed tag title.
Oh, yeah.
First champs. You know what I'm going to say?
I think so.
Minoru Suzuki and Megaton.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Eminem, I guess.
Oh, hey, yeah. There you go. I like it.
I would actually like to see that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I always put it in the first half of the show.
Yeah.
Right before intermission.
Right.
Printing money, Chris. That's what we do here at Wrestling Owl Show. And I believe with that, it is time to rank the show.
Yes.
We are there. Yes, Chris?
Yes, we are. We are at the rankings, and coming in at number 9 is Megaton versus Minoru Suzuki.
It's a crime.
Just because it's not a match.
I know. It's an impression of a match. It's fine. But still, much like the other main show, super show we just did for Wrestle Dream, has that kind of vibe to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't suggest that you skip any match on this show.
No, same.
Not at all.
There's no line here. The line's out the door.
Yes.
For tickets to get into this bad boy.
Coming in just above that match is the opening match of the night. The rookie match between Shinno and Kizuna. Tanaka comes in at number 8.
Maybe they can get a tag match going for that on television.
Yeah.
With the moms.
Thank you.
Yeah. Print money, Chris.
Coming in at number 7 is the tag team gauntlet match. I'm not going to go over all of the competitors, but you know who they are if you've listened to the show.
Yeah, the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Yes. Coming in at number 6 is... I mean, this is crazy because I love this match. It is Chika Goto versus Sareee.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
It's Sareee. This is the lowest she's ever going to be.
Yeah.
On any of these super shows, I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Between myself and Chris, especially Chris.
Yeah, recent match of the week for me.
Hey. Yeah.
Coming in at number 5 is the mentor rookie match of Seri Yamaoka versus Chihiro Hashimoto.
As someone who's still trying to learn the names, I appreciate your context, Chris.
Yes. Coming in at number 4 is the Twin Star Tag Team title match of the challengers and new champions, the Darkness Revolution team of Chiaki and Misa Matsui versus the outgoing champs Magenta, consisting of Maria and Riko Kawahata.
All right. Not a bad opening for me with this talent that I was looking forward to seeing. Yeah.
Coming in at number 3 is the United National title match. It is the champion Mai Sakurai trying to defend the title against upstart Victoria Yuzuki.
That's a nice way to put it. You usually don't say it that way. Yeah. Trying.
Yeah.
Trying is important. Although do or do not, right?
Yes. And coming in at number 2, the red belt, the Marigold World title. It is the champion Utami Hayashishita versus the challenger Miku Aono.
Yeah, you almost spoiled it. I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah.
But thank you for not doing that.
Yes. And coming in, of course, at number 1, not just because of who's in the match, and not just because of the worldwide and my personal history with it, but because the match is that good, in our opinion. It is the Dream Destiny match of Mayu Iwatani versus Iyo Sky.
Yeah, because it's a dream match that delivered,
Yes.
and that's how you make a number 1.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this show, Joey.
I did. It was time well spent. I had a great day with you today.
Yes. It's a pretty long show.
I had a really nice afternoon of wrestling with you
Yes.
here, Chris. And we're apparently printing all this fake money.
Yes.
Anybody else got some money ideas, please send them to us. And how can they do that, Chris?
They can go to cnjradio.com. That's the letters CNJ followed by radio.com for the home of the Wrestling House Show and the entire CNJ Radio family of podcasts. You can go to cnjradio.com for our Facebook, where we always post about the Super Show and the matches of the week every week. And you can go to our Instagram, Wrestling House Show, all one word, all written out, Wrestling House Show on Instagram, where we do the same. And we ask that you, this time, I'm going to ask if you watched the show, what was your favorite match? If you did not watch the show, but you listened to our review of the show, did it maybe help entice you to maybe give Marigold a try?
That's a fair question. My bonus question is, do you have a memory of the Super Delphin pin in WCW
Yes.
versus the World Nintendo 64 video game?
Yes.
Because if you played it, that should have at least unlocked the memory of it.
Right.
Even if, like us, we played it within the last calendar year, so we know it well still.
Yes.
We make a point. But yes. Anyway, all that being said, everybody out there, stay super, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.